Are you looking for the best vertical monitors? In this video we will look at some of the best vertical monitors on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Dell S2722QC. The best vertical monitor that we've tested is the Dell S2722QC. It's an excellent overall office monitor with a 4K resolution that doesn't cost much either, and it's a great choice if you want to use one in the standard orientation and a second one in the vertical orientation. Its stand has excellent ergonomics and you can rotate it into a vertical orientation in either direction, which is great if you want the inputs to face to the left or the right. The high 4K resolution also delivers sharp text and images, and you can easily open two windows on top of each other. It's a great choice if you want to use it in a well-lit room because it gets bright enough to fight glare and has good reflection handling, so visibility isn't an issue. It also has wide viewing angles so the image remains consistent even when you're viewing it from the sides. Finally, it has a USB hub with two USB-A ports and a USB-C port that supports DisplayPort Alt mode, letting you connect your laptop to it to display an image and charge it at the same time thanks to the 65W of power delivery. Number 2. LG 27GP850B. If you want something cheaper or you don't want to use a 4K monitor in a vertical orientation, then check out the LG 27GP850B. You can find it for a bit cheaper than the Dell directly through LG's website. Text doesn't look as sharp as the Dell S2722QC due to the lower resolution, but the text clarity is still good. Its stand isn't as ergonomic as the Dell either because you can't swivel it, so you'll have to move the entire display if you want it to face you. You can rotate it into portrait mode only by turning it clockwise, but at least the inputs will be on top and not side-facing to one side. It's more of a gaming monitor than the Dell but still has good office performance with excellent accuracy before calibration thanks to its sRGB mode, and it displays a wide range of colors. Its vertical viewing angle is just acceptable, but it's still good enough to use in a vertical orientation and the image remains consistent. While it doesn't have many extra office features like on the Dell, it has two USB-A ports that let you connect your peripherals if you don't have enough space on your laptop or PC. Number 3. ASUS ProArt Display Par 278CV. Should you be looking for something a bit cheaper but don't necessarily want something on a budget, then check out the ASUS ProArt Display Par 278CV. It's a 27-inch, 1440p monitor like the LG 27GP850B, but it doesn't support HDR at all, which is disappointing if you need HDR while working, but that's also the trade-off for getting a cheaper display. However, the ASUS also has more productivity features like a USB-C input with 65W of power delivery, and it has four USB-A ports to which you can connect your devices. It also has a DisplayPort output, which is great if you want to daisy chain to a second monitor. It's easy to adjust this monitor into a vertical orientation as it has an extremely ergonomic stand and it rotates into portrait mode in either direction. It has an even better vertical viewing angle than the LG so you won't have issues seeing a consistent image from the sides, and it has incredible color accuracy so images look lifelike. Lastly, it has a few extra features like a virtual grid alignment that makes it easier to align the monitor next to another display. Number 4. ASUS ProArt Display Par 278QV. If you're looking for the best monitor for vertical use in the budget category, then the ASUS ProArt Display Par 278QV is a great alternative to the ASUS ProArt Display Par 278CV. It's a lower-end version of the Par 278CV with the main difference being that it doesn't have a USB-C input or a DisplayPort output, but that's the trade-off of getting a cheaper display, and it still has four USB-A ports. Despite its lower cost, it has an outstanding stand in terms of ergonomics, and you can rotate it into portrait mode in either direction. Its wide vertical viewing angle is excellent if you need to use it vertically and you have it off to the side as the image remains consistent no matter where you view it from. If you want to use it in a bright room, it also gets bright enough to fight glare, and the reflection handling is very good. Like the Par 278CV, it also has an sRGB mode with amazing accuracy in SDR, so you won't have to calibrate it unless your work requires perfectly accurate colors. Number 5. ASUS VG246H. If you want a cheaper model to use as a secondary display in a vertical orientation, then the ASUS VG246H is a great choice. As it's a cheap display, it has a smaller screen and lower resolution than the ASUS ProArt DisplayPower 278QV, which is normal, but it's fine to use if you don't need the biggest screen and you want something simple, and the text clarity is still decent. Unlike most cheap displays, it has remarkable ergonomics with a versatile stand that rotates into portrait mode in either direction, making it a great choice to use as a vertical monitor. It has amazing accuracy before calibration, similar to the PAR 278QV, so you won't need to calibrate it, but it doesn't support HDR either. While it has good reflection handling, it isn't the brightest display, so it performs better in rooms with dim lights, and it's best to avoid placing it opposite a bright window as you'll have trouble properly seeing the display. Luckily, it has wide viewing angles that make the image remain consistent from the sides, which is great if you need to use it on the side.